Alright, we have another battle report. This time it's a 2250 game against Orcs and Goblins. And this is one of my favorite armies to go against, especially the way this opponent's put it together because it's all mounted. Very fast moving army, very interesting army for the Orcs and Goblins. So, you can see what the terrain looks like. From right to left there's a hill, a forest, a house, another forest, and then a hill on the left. And in terms of an overview, you can kind of see as we started deploying that for the most part, both of us put the majority of our troops on my left side of the board, his right side. We of course didn't know that going into it. It's kind of how it played out. But looking into it, this is his extreme left flank, my extreme right. Got a lot of close-ups of these guys because they're just so beautifully painted, just beautiful. But he's got some spider riders on the right, then some, I assume they're called wolf riders, I don't know what they're called. Then he's got a bolt thrower. Next to them he's got some boar boys, another bolt thrower, and that model with the bolt thrower is just an orc with the crew, but the model he used is one that he uses as his general, and it's very customized, just beautiful. Anyway, then he has some squig hoppers. He has some spider riders in the woods. Behind that we have a tray with 4 models facing each other. He left his chariot at home accidentally, so that represents a chariot with his shaman in it. Anyway, then there's another unit of boar boys with his battle standard bearer in there. He's got a giant. Behind the giant he has his general on a wyvern. And then he's got Ogla Khan's wolf boys from the Regiments of Renown list. And so that's an interesting one. I've played him before. I did some research after the game to try to figure out what these guys are all about. But anyway, what great flavor to the army as it is, but especially with that Regiments of Renown unit thrown in there. So, looking at my side of the board, this is his perspective looking at me. Thought that was a pretty cool picture. So on my right, stuck the trebuchet here. I figure my troops are going to move up and he'll have a line of sight soon enough. So put some peasant archers to the right of my trebuchet to give me some protection. He just has a couple units of fast cav coming at me, so I put Pegasus Knights, my reserve unit of Knights Errant here, and my men-at-arms, partly to deal with his fast cav coming across, and partly because I can get them, the Pegasus Knights, I can get them across the board to that bolt thrower, which is what I think I'm probably going to do. I can also use them to kind of hijack his fast cav. I can get a charge in on him if I feel I need to. Anyway, then I have my skirmishing bowmen. Next to the skirmishers I have some fast cav, followed by some more archers, some more Pegasus Knights, big unit of Knights Errant with my BSB, big unit of Knights of the Realm. Then I have Grail Knights with the Damsel, and then I have my general. So game plan. My general, it's pretty easy. I just want to take out his giant or his general. I'm outfitted with Killing Blow against large targets, so his general's a little bit dicey because I'd have to go against the wyvern. But if nothing else, I want to get that giant out of here. And then really I'm thinking I've got my big blocks of knights over here. Let's take care of this flank and then try to turn and swoop over. And that's easier said than done because for one of the few times I'm actually outmaneuvered in the sense that not only is he all mounted, but a lot of his guys are fast cav and I'm not. So while I have the power and the armor saves, a lot of his units have better mobility, and then he's got his boar boys with plenty of power behind them. So really looking forward to the game. And there's that hill again. A lot of times with me against mounted troops, having a hill between us gets interesting in terms of trying to who's going to maneuver to get the right charge in. So turn 1, you can see he takes both units of on the right, his spider riders and wolf boys, and moves them up. His squig hoppers just explode. I mean, whatever he rolled, I think he rolled about 16 or 17 on them, so they just zoomed out there. Unluckily for him, his boar boys failed their animosity roll, so they're stuck there a turn. Spider riders move up. You can see on this flank, he's kind of tied down just a little bit. I don't remember why he didn't move up his fast cav. It could be because he failed animosity, but I don't see his marker there. I don't know. Maybe he just decided to hold him back. His giant he put out there almost exactly 20 inches away from my general. So I think he was trying to lure me into a charge, thinking that I might not be able to make it. And so there's some games we're playing there, and you can see with his boar boys, he's moving them behind the hill, and we have we have issues of line of sight and stuff like that. His chariot, you can see he left behind the woods up there. So my turn one, I take my Pegasus Knights and I charge his wolves. I assume they're fast cav. Anyway, and they flee and I destroy them. The bad news is I'm kind of stuck there right in front of a big unit that I don't want to get into combat with. So I tried to position my troops so that if he charges my Pegasus Knights, I can flee and he can't reach me from there. So I'll get the counter charge on him. So I'm okay with how that happened. Decided not to charge with my general because it's just too close. I might fail it by half an inch or an inch, and I don't need to get countercharged by a giant. And otherwise, both of us are hanging. I'm hanging back just a little bit because of that hill. In hindsight, I need to just be more aggressive, and get my knights into action sooner, not hang back so darn much. You can see on this side of the board, I start swinging my knights errant around to more towards the middle, and you can see at the top how I took my Pegasus Knights and flew them right between his two units of cavalry. They can't see me, and it's going to allow me a charge on the bolt thrower. The gamble I was taking is when I committed to moving them there, I assumed I would be out of the line of sight of his boar boys. And then once I put him there, I realized I think he can see me, and he might be able to reach that. And the only thing that might save me is his wolves might be in the way. Anyway, but as soon as I put him there, I was a little bit nervous because they might get a charge that I get charged in a way that I didn't want. So, but not only can my Pegasus Knights charge that bolt thrower, it gives me other options because I'm skirmishing to charge anybody else if I feel that I need to hold them up. Shooting, yeah, my plan for those squig hoppers, I've fought them before. Those guys are pretty nasty in battle, actually. So I took my both my skirmishing bowmen, my bowman here in the middle, as well as my fast cav, and took everybody and shot at those and just killed them all. So that went nicely. Nice to get those things out of the way. We go to Orcs and Goblins turn 2, and oh, I just felt sick for my opponent. That unit of boar boys got animosity again. So 2 turns in a row, they're just stuck there. I mean, jeez Louise. Yeah, that had to have hurt him.